Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Aisha Mehankarbali, and today I will be presenting about culturally responsive classroom practices. Before we begin, I wanted to offer you guys an outline so you guys have an idea of where this presentation is headed throughout. So before we begin, I wanted to note that these approaches are really important and vital to incorporate and take into consideration for our classrooms when we are teaching and working with emerging bilinguals. So what is culturally relevant or culturally responsive teaching? They're not some just buzzwords, they're not a thing, and they're not a program. I'm going to quote what Zarita Hammond herself said, and that is, and I quote, they are made of essentially being an action algorithm. And when we are talking about these approaches, we're really talking about them in the same realm of social emotional learning and development. So what is culturally relevant teaching? When we actually think of relevant, the word relevant, we are thinking of what culture symbols are being embedded and that are important in the students' learning experiences. So in regards to the definition, I will read and quote what Gloria Ladin Billings herself said. And she said that this is an approach to teaching that uses students' cultural knowledge and background while affirming their cultural identity and also assisting them in developing critical perspectives that challenges inequities in school. Now, what is culturally responsive teaching? Well, when we hear the word responsive, we are right away thinking about how we are reacting quickly and also positively. In regards to the classroom, it's how are we responding to our students' cultural backgrounds and their goals and their personalities and the relationships. By definition, culturally responsive teaching is using students' cultural aspects as references and being responsive by determining how we will teach and finding ways to tailor our curriculum and content. Again, the teaching is focused on being responsive to the students' personal and cultural strengths, their intellectual capabilities, and their accomplishments. Now, although they seem a little bit different, they're actually very similar. Both of these approaches really focus on the academic success of students from diverse cultural and backgrounds. These approaches are research-based and they leverage students' assets such as their cultures, their languages, and life experiences. And most importantly, these approaches really encourage teachers to adapt these student-centered instructions and approach. These approaches really promote for teachers to getting to know their students, understanding where they're from, their backgrounds, and then using their identity, their culture, and their backgrounds to craft the most meaningful and rigorous learning opportunities for the students. Culturally sustaining teaching really builds on the culturally relevant and culturally responsive teaching approach. This approach itself, instead of just accepting and affirming the backgrounds of students of color, this approach views schools as the places where the cultural ways of being and communities of color are sustained and they're being kept. It really promotes equality across racial and ethnic communities and seeks to ensure access and opportunity to all students. This approach really allows, invites, and encourages students to not only use their cultural practices from home and school, but to maintain them. So when a teacher honors and adapts these approaches in their classroom, they're really understanding that the culture manifests in a variety of ways. And essentially, these cultural backgrounds affects how students prefer to learn. When a teacher honors and adapts these approaches, the teacher is able to create a connection with their students, and which will allow students to not become flooded with stress hormones. And we want to prevent that. We want to prevent students from being stressed in the classroom because when they are in a healthy mental state, then they're able to carry on a bigger load of cognition work. A teacher who really honors these approaches and is adapting them into their classroom is understanding that they need to differentiate the instructions that they offer to students in order to tailor and meet the learning needs of all their students in their classroom. And a teacher who really honors these approaches and has adapted them is really being motivating. They are demonstrating their faith in their students, and they're encouraging students and motivating them by bringing in different resources and elements and artifacts of students' racial or linguistic backgrounds, which really will contribute to motivating students in the classroom. Throughout my research, I believe that there are 3 ways in which you can go about successfully incorporating these teaching approaches into your classroom. And these 3 strategies include creating a welcoming and supporting classroom, identifying your students, and examining, which is, in the end, you have to examine your curriculum. The first one is creating a welcoming and supporting classroom. This really focuses on how are you creating a welcoming classroom for our students. This can be done by how you formally greet yourself and welcome students. And you can create a supporting classroom by, first and foremost, getting to know your students and getting their names correctly. How you pronunciate their names is very, very important. Then you can go about supporting your students throughout the classroom by offering visuals and providing representation of them and their cultures throughout the classroom. Second strategy focuses on identifying your students, getting to know their strengths, their skills, their activities outside of school, their cultural background, and their identities. Once you're able to successfully identify your students, then that will affect how you examine your curriculum, in which then you will be able to organize and tailor your instructions and your lessons to ensure that there is a diversity of access points and materials to meet all students and their backgrounds and their languages. I included a list of ways to help identify and indicate if you're successfully incorporating these approaches into your classrooms. And they really focus on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullets. And they include, first and foremost, biggest indicator is the relationship established between the teacher and student. When you have a wonderful relationship established, the student will then successfully be able to radiate and show a sense of belonging. And this will be demonstrated through the student being oral and participating and being engaged in activities that you offer throughout the classroom. Another indicator that you are successfully adapting these approaches into your classroom is through the text and the literature selection and materials that you offer throughout the classroom. This is important for students to be able to find materials that they can relate to and see themselves. Personally, growing up, I never saw any literatures representing me and my cultural background. So as an immigrant student, the closest text selection I think I can recall is reading from literature about Ellis Island. And that was about it. I never saw anything representing my home country, Albania, or somebody like myself. Again, the next bullet is representation is fostered throughout the classroom. This is important, and this is indicated through the visuals that you offer throughout the classroom. Are there posters, pictures of different students' backgrounds being represented in your classroom? And last but not least, the activities that you incorporate into your lessons and your in curriculum are really important and are a huge indicator because they will show if students are being interested and if they are able to find a meaning in the content or in the lessons that you're offering. So in a nutshell, these approaches are really encouraging teachers as educators to shift our mindsets. So that way we can understand and reflect on the instructional decisions that we have to make and what steps we'll be taking to be able to demonstrate our support to our students. These approaches really ensures the quality, equity of teaching to all students by honoring their cultures, their identities. That way, our students are able to feel safe, authentic, and really have a sense of belonging, not only in our classrooms, but in their schools. Incorporating these approaches into our practice will most certainly help work towards diversifying our curriculum and the materials that we make available to our students. I truly feel that learning these approaches are not something that we can just attend one professional development session and think we've completely mastered it. I think this is something that we have to really dedicate a lot of time throughout our career to make sure that we're doing the best for all our students. And it's really important to understand these approaches because we are really becoming these cultural bridge builders and translators, where we have to find and take into consideration our students' backgrounds and cultural identity and make linkages between that and the materials and the content that we're teaching. And we have to also get to know what our students know and do not understand, and then really come up with examples and materials that will help them. For teachers, these approaches are so important to understand because they really emphasize the importance and the need for us to embrace diversity, get to know our students, and help them feel welcomed and seen, not only in our classroom, but again, in the entire school. And I really think that these approaches really remind us that as a country, as we continue to grow and become more diverse, we really need to continue our own personal learning. Not only should we be expanding our students' worldview, but also ours. And this is the moment where we are leading by examples to our students and demonstrating our commitment to being lifelong learners, but also we're showing that our students that we too are on the same learning journey as them throughout life. Thank you all for joining me in this presentation today. And if you have any questions,